Hi, it's Tom from Inspiration Metalworks. In this video we're going to be looking at a sign that we're cutting, or actually a pair of signs that we're cutting for North Carolina State University Air Force ROTC. Alright, so as everyone knows, or if you've been following the channel, you know I am an Army veteran. I also am an alum of North Carolina State University. So for me, when I got the call from the commander of the Air Force ROTC detachment, while I was, ribbing him a little bit about everybody needing a ride someplace every once in a while, we got along great. Yeah. So I was flattered at the idea of doing some work for my old university. I actually used to work there as well. I don't know, many of you probably don't realize my other job is actually instructional technology. So for me, it was kind of neat to be able to give back to an organization that's turning out some wonderful officers, a school that's near and dear to my heart, and I got a little artistic freedom on this one. It was kind of interesting, so I got to have a little bit of fun with it. They gave me some general text they wanted to put up on the wall. It's going to be two different areas honoring both their past graduates and making sure that they're getting a bit, these new cadets coming in, helping them realize the tradition and heritage that they are joining when they are becoming part of the Air Force itself, but also in the rich ROTC heritage that goes back over 100 years at NC State. So the interesting part about this one is, and given the latitude around how to do it, we looked at some of the existing work that they've done, and I'll put a picture up here so you can see one of the other signs that they have up right now. But the fun part about it is they didn't want to replicate exactly what they had. In fact, they wanted something to be a little different, and they wanted it to look a little different than what they had there. They wanted it to have a little bit more modern look while still paying homage to their heritage. The other requirement that we had in there is they are in a temporary space right now. Their ordinary offices and training facilities are being renovated right now. So for the last couple of years and for another year or so moving forward, they're in a different building. So the sign had to be durable, because you're going to be in hallways, there's going to be students going by. It had to also be easily installed, removed, and reinstalled into its new location once they get moved. So a few design challenges in there, but it was a lot of fun. So let's take a look at the design itself. Let's look at the drawings, the sketches, and then we'll come back. Okay, so thought I'd share a little bit on the signs I've been working on, and posted a picture to the Machining YouTube page on Facebook, and Instagram and all that other good stuff. But anyways, I just wanted to take a look at this and talk to you a little bit about how I do it, and give you some feedback about that. You can see I've got multiple versions here. I've got a couple of different things. This is the old Hap Arnold Air Force logo. If I believe I have that right. I'm an old Army guy, but even us Army guys need a ride someplace, right? No, just kidding. I'm very pleased to be making this sign for the North Carolina State University Air Force ROTC detachment. And so we started out with some concepts, right? We knew what we wanted to say. We knew we wanted this logo in here. And I started doing layout to try and get the concept art to, we're looking for symmetry and spacing and things like that. So you notice I have a big box around things here. That was the original space that I was given, the original dimensions. So I started working with that and got everything ready to go, and getting ready to cut it and find out, no, we're doing this differently, different wall, different location, and so it needs to be scaled. Well, the nice part about using tools like this, right, is you basically take this and you copy it, right? Press the copy button. You can say edit and there's a file. Or is edit and copy? Sorry, draw a copy. I just pressed the C key, right? But so you copy it, make a copy of the thing, put it over here, right, and then scale it. That's the nice part about it. So now, whereas, let me make sure I've got my corner snaps on, we'll do a measurement here. The original length was, if we come out here and check that, it's going to snap to the corners, it's 144 inches. Well, I was told, no, what we really have is 120 inches. So I scaled it down, right? It's really simple to do this, okay? You start with this, you select the whole thing you want to scale, you press the scale button, right? Now, which dimensions changed for me? Well, I know that my height was going to be proportional to the length, and the length changed from 144 to 120. So all I really did is, with my copy, right, I selected all, I chose from this corner to this corner, and then in the lower corner here, which is going to throw this all off because when you move it, it'll scale. But it says scale to point, right, or type new size. So you can manually do it. All I did was type in 120 inches. Now I'm going to hit escape because I don't want to mess with this one. So 120 inches got me this, right? This right here now gets me closer. What do I do now? Well, again, I may reuse this content, right? This is why I don't always edit the original. I don't need to keep multiple copies of this because I've got lots of workspace in here to move. So basically, I made a copy of this one and I put it up here. And I then went and I cleaned up all my guidelines that I had used for my drawing. I got that out of the way, and that leaves me with text. But you'll notice, let's come in here and we'll zoom in. So I'm going to press the F6 key. That's going to zoom to selection, right? And you'll see there's a couple of different colors here. There's blue and purple. Let's zoom in, though. Let's just look at the Hap Arnold symbol, right? We'll zoom in again, so F6 again. And so you can see my cut paths are in here now. Well, cut paths are really simple to do, right? You go to Machine, Convert to Cut Path. Well, it's really just Shift N, right? So Shift N, and then you click where you want your cut path to start. When it has holes in here, it'll say, hey, do you want to automatically create the holes? I said yes. Well, there's a dropout in this one because the star was going to come out. I was going to get the circle. So I had to manually come in and do that part of it, right? And I'll have to reorder this or select this circle first and then do the rest of my cutting here. But again, and we can refer back to another video. Maybe I'll put a card up on a previous video. I'm not going to cut it like this because this is something that's going in as memorial at the ROTC department, and it's going to be there for a long, long time. Not only is this my my alma mater, right, that it is going to, but it's a veterans organization, or not. I'm a veteran, and it's a military organization, so I want this to be sharp, right? So I'm going to zoom in. I'm pressing F1, and it zooms to wherever the mouse is, and I'm going to come in and clean this stuff up. So if you don't know how I do that, refer back to my video that I did earlier on cleanup on the plasma cam, and you'll be able to check that out. I'm going to zoom back out to everything. There's my whole page, and we'll talk a little bit about what comes next because I've already cut one sign, and that sign has a lot of extra space on it, right? Or that page, sorry, let's try this again. That sheet, that 4x8 sheet, has a lot of extra space on it because each one of these letters is being cut separately. So I want to use that sheet to my fullest capacity. I'm going to copy. I'm just going to press the C key. So right now I'm pressing C. You notice that the mouse changed to crosshairs. Where do you want to copy from? I'm just going to select any place right now. I'm going to press the End key so I turn my snaps off. You notice that went away up there. I'm just going to copy from here, and without moving the mouse, I'm just going to press the Escape key, which tells me to copy it to the clipboard. So now it's in the clipboard. I'm just going to save my work here, and I'm going to go back to the file I was using that had the layout in it that I've already done. Right, so here's, again, you can see I had done the same kind of thing on the other sign that we did. You notice a couple of parts here, duplicates.
hey, I cut this one, and then I saw an erroneous pierce point happen. And so, there's a tiny little spot that I had missed. So I fixed it and I recut it. But I've still got all this space in here, and this is being cut out of 12 gauge 304 stainless. So this is not cheap metal. I want to make sure that I'm using this to its fullest. So now that I'm in here, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to say draw paste. I could just press the P key, right? I'm going to put that content in here. There's our other sign. And from here, I'll do my cleanup on all my cut paths, and I'll lay it out as best I can, fit it on this sheet. And if I need to put it on the other sheet, which I know I'll need to put some of this stuff on the other sheet, I'll get the other sheet on there. I'll finish cutting this sheet. I'll load up the other sheet, and we'll get everything going. But this is how I do it. So once I've got that done, I'll bring you back to the to some of the cutting out in the shop. I don't think you guys really need to see me move letters around and do layout, but I'll bring you back in a little bit. I just got to figure out how to stop the recording. Oh, because I'm in the wrong place.
Okay, so you saw the drawings. PlasmaCam makes it really simple to, once you have your drawings and your ideas in place, it makes it really simple for you to take that concept art and move into your final versions. So we got the drawing set up, we got this cut. This is 304 stainless. It is 12 gauge. So what is that, about 108 thousandths, 110 thousandths? I forget exactly what it is, but it's in that 100 thousandths range. The next challenge that happened, and so as I'm cutting, and I didn't have the water table at the time, and I probably should have used something like nitrogen, a couple other things that would have helped improve cut quality. The cutting went great, right? I mean, I didn't have problems with warpage. Everything went really well to a point, right? I only had to recut one part. And that was one of the wolves, and actually it's one of these, right? So this one of the bookends for one of the signs. I had missed a little remnant of a cut path, and so it pierced a spot. It's just like, oh great. Well, so that's up on the shelf here. If anybody wants, one of these howling wolves in stainless, I'll finish it. If you guys want it, let me know. But the other challenge that would happen is parts would drop out and get caught in the tray. It's the water table, but I was using it basically as a tray to catch things that were falling, to keep the high-speed dross. So basically the molten metal that gets cut out, all that, for machinists, the swarf, right? It's catching all that. Well, what would happen is a part would get cut, and these are fairly small parts, they're only a couple inches tall for some of the lettering. They would fall through. The next part would get cut, and that spray would land on top of it. So I ran into issues like this one, and we're gonna do manual zoom, as in I'm walking closer, right? So as you can see, this is the top of the part, and so it's got a bunch of this junk on it. Now it comes off fairly easily, but not all of it does come off that easily. The other part that I had to deal with on the back side is the actual dross itself, right? So, there's a good amount of the dross on here. Some of it comes off pretty easily, some of it doesn't, right? I reached out So my last video that I actually put out was just a 90-second video saying, hey, this is what I've got going on. You know, I've got this problem with the cuts. What's a good way to deal with the stainless on this? You know, I'm still getting over my back surgery. I can't sit there with sanders all day long, you know, grinding, and I would normally use, you know, wire cups for this stuff. How do you keep the parts from flying off? Great comments. Thank you guys so much. I got comments not just directly through YouTube, but also direct comments to me that were very helpful. One of those comments came from my friend Chad out in Washington State, and he said, hey, you know, use a tumbler, right? And it dawns on me, I have an 18-pound vibratory tumbler. Now, I couldn't use the same media that I had used in the past because that had all been used for mild steel. But I went out and I got some ceramic, medium grit ceramic media for it, right? So this is what it looks like. You guys can kind of see, right? I have in the past, here you go. Oh, yeah, I don't bend over real well right now. I've used these little resin-based, you know, small ones too. Great for rust removal, but it doesn't do a whole lot more than that. These were good for the dross removal. And so, after about an hour in the tank, what you get is this. Now this is the front, right? You guys can see pretty well there. Pretty decent finish. It knocks most of the dross off, but not all of it. I don't know how well you can see behind there. I probably should do a real zoom and not my manual zoom here, but so there's still going to be some sanding involved, but it's a whole hell of a lot less sanding to deal with. So an hour in the tank, I didn't have to touch anything. We get to this point, right? So some light sanding. Another comment that I got about doing this is get a non-stick pad. Put this on the non-stick pad, then do your sanding. Or, you know, and I'm thinking about it, it's like, oh, or not non-stick, non-slip. Ha, not non-stick. That would have been really bad. A non-slip pad. I told my wife about it. She's like, what do you mean a non-slip pad? I was like, well, you know, our little silicone pop holders we use, it's, you know, basically stuff like that. So I'm going to get a roll of, I'll go to Walmart or someplace like that and just get a roll of this stuff, and I'll be able to lay that down. It will hold the pieces in place as I do the sanding that I need to do. So I'm feeling pretty good about that, very confident about that. The last step is finishing. We're doing just the brushed finish on this. As you can tell, you know, when it comes out of the tumbler, it's not brushed, right? The grade of stainless that I got in the first place is 2B, right? It's the raw stainless that comes up from the mill. There's no finish work done to it. I went to, of all places, this weekend I went to Harbor Freight. I had done some quick tests and I put some pictures up. Actually, I think it's still, yeah, it's still sitting here. There we go. I had done a quick test with just using a Scotch-Brite pad, right? And it did a pretty good job on this, right? The thing is it's not quite grained enough. You rub your fingers on it and it starts to lose that luster and it starts to lose the graining. So the Scotch-Brite pad probably wasn't going to work. So I go to Harbor Freight and I get a set of these drums. And actually, if you want to see what the package looks like, there it is. 4-piece drum set. What's neat about this drum set? First off, it was only $26. Sometimes there's a good enough, right? You don't have to buy super expensive tooling all the time, right? Sometimes there's a good enough. Harbor Freight has its purpose. And in this case, it's doing it well, because basically I got this 4-piece drum set, throw one on the drill, and I just hit this real quick. You can kind of see the difference of what I've done and what I didn't do, right? And it's doing a phenomenal job of putting the grain on the metal that I want, and that's a little bit deeper, more durable grain. The other thing that it's doing, and this is, you know, on the large pieces that didn't go in the tumbler, there's still some of this, you know, cleanup work to do. Well, it's all in one, right? It's smoothing everything out, it's putting the grain finish on there all at one time, saving me a ton of time. I do have a bunch of larger pieces to do from the sign. It'll all get done this way. The cool part about this, though, the thing that I actually liked the most about this set is it doesn't take specific pre-made drums. In this instance, what it does is you basically cut sheets. It came with a few sheets. You cut the sheet to length. It comes with this little wrench, right? Basically what it is a cam lock system. The way that it works is that little piece there, you put this in here, you turn it, it loosens it up so that you can put your paper in. You turn it at 90 degrees, it tightens it back down, locks everything in place, right? Now your paper's not going anywhere, it's not going to slide on you. And you don't have to buy these really expensive rolls, you just buy your standard sandpaper roll, right? So you buy the right width, you buy the roll, cut it to length, put it in there, lock it in place, you're done. So it makes it really, really simple. It's very cost effective. It even comes with a couple of different size mandrels, right? So if you don't have, you can put this in drill presses, you can put it in all kinds of things. So best $26 I've spent in ages, right? Hell, I spent more than that on the media. That was $30-some. So, bit of a long video today. I do apologize for that, but just wanted to give everybody an update on what's going on with this one. You know, I'm not working real fast these days. I'm moving along at the pace that I can, and the fact these guys waited for me all summer. Right? They knew that I had, you know, the surgery, and they were amazing to work with. You know, they were so much fun. You get in there, joking around with, you know, with each other. You know, get a shave, or shave and a haircut, hippie, you know, kind of jokes, and you know, it was fun. You know, it was a lot of fun. But they've been immensely patient because, like I said, they were originally contacting me back in June, and I just had the surgery. There was no way I could even touch this. So I work on it a little bit at a time. As I get things done, I get it done. I'm shooting to have it done before homecoming. But now with the tumbler, you know, I thought I was going to have to take each and every one of these pieces, and I thought I was going to have to hand sand them, and I was worried about keeping the plane proper, and you know, I was really concerned about what it was going to take to get it done. And so this video also serves as a thank you to all you guys who sent in suggestions on how I can do this. So thank you guys very much. Last thing is this, like I said, this is mostly me talking. Not a lot of action in here. Mostly me talking. I have a question. You know, this is one of these things. I don't want to feel like I'm jumping on the bandwagon. on some of this, but you know, at the beginning of the year, I turned on monetization for most of my videos, and frankly, I kind of feel bad about doing that. You know, I thought, hey, it's a way to help support the channel and the activities that I'm doing here and the time that it takes to make these videos. But I haven't seen the kind of results that I was expecting, and I'm wondering, you know, frankly, if you guys are just finding it annoying versus it doing what I thought it was going to do. So that being said, if you've got thoughts on the monetization thing, maybe switching over to Patreon or something along those lines, please leave a comment below as well. I do appreciate all the feedback, all the interaction that I have in the YouTube community, our machinist content community. Wow, I'm struggling today, folks. Sorry about that. I'm not even editing this one. This one's going straight in just like this. This is me. But yeah, so I really would appreciate any suggestions you guys have, because if the commercials at the beginning, if the ads at the beginning of the channel are distracting, or you guys are finding it annoying, and detracting from the content, I don't want to have it. You know, I'd rather, you know, have nothing there and have good, happy subscribers than I would to try and, you know, the paltry amounts of money that come in through that. So please leave your thoughts below. I do appreciate that. If you have any other comments or suggestions, please let me know. Again, I know this is mostly talking on this video. If you did like it, though, give me a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed and you want to see more, take a look at some of my other videos that are out there. I'll put a couple of links up here, some of the cards up there. I guess it would be there, right, on your right, yeah, top right of the screen. But yeah, take a look at my videos. If you like what you see and you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. My email is always listed at the end. It's tom@inspirationmetalworks. I try to make myself available to anybody who needs it, not just from the shop perspective, but, you know, I'm a technologist too, so if you're running into problems with some of the things you're trying to do, let me know. I'll see if I can help. Thanks again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you real soon.